Good evening, everyone. I hope our talk will wake a little of you, if you are feeling a little sleepy. Uh, First of all, I would like to thank Ushmita ji, uh, who I first connected when I heard of Imami art, and then thanks to Richa ma'am for supporting this exhibition and event. We have been discussing about the possibilities of collaborations, of or through collaborations, exchanging and sharing this art with the community, which so so beautifully accepting this art. As I said, I represent this Sanskriti museum, so I would like to start with a message from the director and our vision for Sanskriti museum. Sanskriti is a meeting place for all people. It is the fulfillment of our life's work. We wish to inspire through learning and celebrating the little things in life which are often overlooked. Details in nature which is around us. These are the times of challenge to which we must respond. We conceived Sanskriti as a place where all could meet and share and find strength. So, here we will witness a form of art, which is the cover in the Soharai art, which is a traditional art found in the villages. I would say this art is all over India in different forms. The two forms of art we have been dealing with, one is the cover, which is the marriage art, and second is the harvest art. To put it in a very simple two-word, these murals have also been known as the monsoon murals, because each year after the monsoons, these murals get washed away. So this is like an art which vanishes every year and painted again and again every year. And these women have been tirelessly painting their houses for centuries. As far as their we are working with the fourth generations now. My father, Bulu Imam, he created a cooperative for these women. We started with 40 women in 4 villages. Now we have over 4,000 women earning their livelihood through this art. So why am I talking about this art, and why we are trying to showcase this art, why we are trying to convince that this art is so important? Are few points which we will discuss in this conversation. So the tiger we see here is one of the Jorakat style, which is Kurmi style from Jorakat village. And our two lovely artists, Putli is not very well. Just before the day we were supposed to travel, she was very sick because she traveled all the way from her jungle village in Saheda, which is in the hills. And it's very chilly cold at the moment in Jharkhand, but she managed. And I hope she is well enough to continue, finish her painting now, and of course we are having workshops tomorrow. So this artist, Rudhan Devi, she paints with the left hand because her right arm was amputated about 10 years ago. And she paints these lovely tigers, peacocks, and we have in this Convergence exhibition, we have 5 of our paintings. One is by Putli, and one is by Rudhan, and 2 other artists, and a few embroideries from our region. So this, I would like to maybe just say 2 words about this tiger and the artist. See, I have been promoting this art for the last couple of years now. After my studies in England as a museologist and a curator, I took this upon me that I would do all I have. I put everything I have, all strength I have to showcase this art. And thanks to Ushmita ji for giving us this platform. So this tiger, when you see, it's not just a tiger, it's a memory. It's like these are memory murals of the artists. And it can be the tiger which she saw as a young girl. It could be a tiger which she may be afraid of. So many people ask me, do these murals have stories? Are they telling stories? So they are not telling the stories about the art, they are telling the stories about the person who painted it. So it's not about storytelling, it is the art which is speaking about the artists. So every artist will make different animal forms, different bird forms, and I'll take 2 extra minutes because we have young children here who are the futures of India. I would very much want, because what we are missing as young children, which I did not miss, fortunately. I grew up in a jungle. I grew up with wild animals. I grew up with uh, discovering rock art sites, understanding archaeology. I think if we go to the next slide, this is the pointer. So this is the harvest art, and Parvati Devi is one of our other exceptional artists. So these are, this is the harvest art, and these are symbols of fertility. This is a Kamal Bandh, which is like a garden of lotus. And we have, trust me, we have documented this art over the last 3 decades. Each house is painted every year, because every year these murals get washed away by the rain. So we have a documentation of 30 years and at least 1 million photographs in 10 villages. So this is just few images we will be seeing. And this is the little museum. This is our dining hall, which we converted into a museum. So as we said, we have, I mean, it's a very small family. We are, we have not sacrificed. We are very happy that we have given this portion of the museum for our museum and art gallery. So these, you can see few paintings hanging. So this art project was started in 1991 with the discovery of a prehistoric rock art, which we will see in the coming slides. So established in 1991, and the backbone of the museum are these stone tools collected from the prehistoric sites of the region. We have 12 prehistoric sites, prehistoric painted rock shelters, which dates between 10 to 15,000 BC. And I'm very happy to share an experience which I had 2 days ago. I was with a bushman from South Africa, from the Kalahari Desert. I don't know if I should disclose it, but Kalyan sir is here. And he will understand what what experience I had last 2 days ago. So I went to this prehistoric rock art site with this bushman from South Africa, who represents his clan from South Africa at the United Nations. And we were looking at this rock art site, and he told me, I want to show you something. Because as a young boy growing up around these rock art sites, I think, yeah, these are the prehistoric caves from where we have collected a lot of Paleolithic stone tools. So who were these people? Where did they go? I mean, this question for the last 30 years I've been asking myself. If they were the people who painted the rock art, they lived in these caves. We have found perfect hand axes, choppers, flake tools, hand axes. So where did they go, or where, I mean, do they have any more remains? I was never sure, because 50,000 years, I mean, you would not even find the bones. Maybe it has disintegrated. But this man, a friend now, he said, let's come, I'll show you a place. And we traveled about into the woods. There are 12 rock art, I won't mention which rock art it was. And on a cliff, we saw golden grasses. Like, it was a windy day, and we could only see grasses, and we saw piles of rocks. I said, which meant, which would seem normal, but it could have been done by little children piling rocks, but in the middle of jungle, I mean, it's hard to say it was done by local children also, but we said, I mean, I was still as skeptical. I did not know what I was going to witness. I moved forward, and then he went, because that is the way it was done in the Bushman rituals. So that was a form of burial. And the ritual was like when a person dies, I mean, 15, 20,000 years ago, his belongings, his stone tools, those were thrown into near his grave. And he said, Gustav, keep your eyes open. And I was looking, I started seeing microliths and different types of tools. And it was a burial site of about hundreds of our ancestors on the top of a cliff, because they wanted to safeguard it from the wild animals. So these were the people who were painting the rock art. So at least I know they are there. It's not abandoned. And the people who we are talking about this, we claim, and we have several books, different films, which has showed the connection between the rock art and the present continuing art of harvest and marriage art, which we evidence in the local nearby villages. So I'll just go on few slides. I don't have all the time. So these are few rock stone tools in the museum collection. We have from lower Paleolithic to middle, upper, Mesolithic, Chalcolithic, and then we have the copper and iron age. So we are talking about 100,000 years of our human evolution. I mean, who we are, we may talk about art. I mean, I can talk more about the art and different beautiful things present in the art. But I think just to give you, this is the backbone of the museum, and I think this is our backbone, and this is our like future generations of young girls and boys who come to the museum, learn from the museum. So, and these are like this is Putli's house. This is the section, this is painted in the Prajapati style, which Anita is the third generation of her family. Jasoda Devi, now she's no more. So late Jasoda Devi was one of the artists my father started working with. And so now Anita's daughter Priyanka is continuing the legacy, and Anita also. And Putli has no children. So we have like about safely 200 women under our cooperative, and there are over 2,000, 4,000 women who are freelancing, earning their livelihood. I've just now adopted one more village, and near the Bhelwara village. So it's a project, if I make it possible, for generating livelihood through this art, because the question is who will buy this art, and when will it be sold, and how will it create livelihood? Will it be creating livelihood through art fairs where we sell like vegetable markets, or do we sell in exclusive art galleries? What do we do? So I think with Imami art we will be learning a lot, we will be exchanging a lot, and I think the work goes on. So this is Putli painting in her mud house at Sanskriti in Dipugada. And this is Anita with her team of women painting in Sanskriti. So we have an underground mud house. So we have an art center which Dr. Kalyan Chakravarti visited about 20 years ago. It hasn't changed in the last 20 years. So sir, as he left us 20 years ago, we are still the same. And we are proud to have not changed. We have been like that, and that's how we have envisioned Sanskriti. We haven't changed. So we get visitors from around the world to witness this art. And this is the 12 rock art sites I was trying to tell you about. So we have had the opportunity of IGNC helping us in the documentation of the rock art sites. So this is the ISCO shelter. And these are the painted shelters having different motifs. I mean, so these were painted on red hematite, sometimes mixed with blood and urine. It has been absorbed in the sandstone, and it has become a part of the sandstone. So this is our some of the marks of our ancestors, and I mean, this is 5-10,000 years before Indus Valley. So, I mean, this is the beginning of the scripts, and so it's not only in Eastern. I mean, we have this cluster in Eastern India. There are other rock art sites in India, of course, and but this 12 cluster of rock art sites have a lot to tell about who these people were. And the only reference point we have are these living women artists who continue this legacy of painting. And I've been talking to this Bushman clan who have a lot of their rock art were painted by women who would go into trance. So it was not only the men who were painting, it was the women shamans who would, and they would go in trance, and the visions they would get during trance, they would paint in the rock art. So these would have different meanings. But there are simple motifs. In the Middle Stone Age, they would be painting animal forms, which would represent, they would have information of cycle of animal behavior, like when they would hibernate, when they would give birth, and what are the special animals, which are the animals they should be afraid of, what are the animals they should hunt, what are the animals which are sacred, etc. So this is another shelter, which is the Nautangwa. It's very dense in forest. In the process of revisiting it, we discovered another rock art site about last month when we last met during the NGMA exhibition with perfect deers, with perfect squirrels. So, I mean, it's about 300 feet high and 300 feet long. And that is the largest rock art so far we have discovered. So we have sacred forms, we have animal forms, human forms, hand stamping. And again, when we see a hand stamping in a house, it's a sacred marking during marriage. But Q, my friend from Africa, he was surprised, like the hand marking for them is a warning that don't go or don't do, this is a danger. But he was very surprised to see that in opposite meaning in India, it was a sacred, hand stamping was sacred, while for them it was a warning. So it was, we were laughing about it, like how same symbols can mean two opposite things in different cultures. So this is Tethangi rock art. I mean, and these rock arts still have ceremonies attached, and we have, these are the local Tana Bhagats who still perform different rituals to the rock art, and still the women go in trance and they pray, and they have a living tradition with the rock art. So these are like lines of deer. This is the Saraiya rock art hanging on a cliff. You have to tie yourself to go down and then see the rock art. So this is one of the oldest. It has some anthropomorphic and zoomorphic forms in it. Very small insects and animals painted. This is the rock art of Satpahar, animal form. This is one of the only butterflies we have so far found in the rock art. This is at Sidpa. Yeah. So this is the Sidpa rock art and the Gonda rock. Raham, still marriages are performed in this rock art with the local villages. So now when you go, there are like Madan Shadi Ghar, where the local villagers go and get married. So Kohvar, the word Kohvar, Koh is cave and Var is the married couple. So 10,000, 15,000 years ago, when a couple had to get married and the community or the clan would solemnize the wedding, the girl and the boy would be taken to the cave, and the girl and boy would stamp their hand on the walls and testify. Like now we go to the court and in front of the registrar, or in front of the priest, or in front of a Maulvi, or in front of a Pujari, we do it. So at that time they would testify in a cave, because that was 15,000 years ago. That is the only sacred place they had. So Kohvar is marriage art, and Sohrai is the harvest art, which will trace the roots back to the Neolithic period, when the first domestication of animal took place. So Sohrai was to celebrate the good harvests, and that is during the October season after the Diwali festival. One day when we have the Govardhan Puja and other rituals related to the cow and the bull, because without cow and the bull, the agriculture was not possible. And they sing to the bull. There are different ceremonies like bullfight. I don't have a picture in this slide, but that is ritual which is associated with the harvest festival. And it's like in South India, you have the Pongal, and like, I mean, there are different art forms all over India, which there is a tradition of painting the mud houses. So we are, I mean, the fact that we have this art still alive in our villages. So we'll go, these are like, this is the, Jharkhand received the first GI tag, and thanks to my brother Justin, who is now no more. So I lost two brothers in this journey. Jason was 39 when he passed away, and Justin was 49. He passed away 2 years ago, 2024. So they have been my inspiration. They taught me a lot, including my father. So I learned archaeology from my father. Justin taught me writing proposals. Jason was a field guy. So yeah, I mean, so I miss them, of course, because they were the people who started this art project. And we continue with our women. So this is the bunker room, and these are our artists. These are from Jorakat. So we have like 4 or 5 villages. The Santhal art is completely different. The Uram art is completely different. So we have 12 stylistic divisions, some of which is in the exhibition at KCC. But certain communities have never painted on paper. So this is Anita's village, and the other women and other houses which have been painting. They have been painting for marriages. And this is how they decorate their house. Unfortunately, now 90% of the houses in this Badkagaon region have vanished. 99%, I'm sad to say. There's maybe 1%, one house out of 100, which is Anita's house, and she'll be painting again this year. But the cover is done when the marriage is happening, so it's not every time a year. And Prajapatis being a potter, they don't have much painting for harvest. So Kurmis are the people who depend on agriculture, so they paint elaborately for harvest. So we had lovely hundreds and thousands of these houses, which is vanishing. But as I said, I was telling Kalyan sir that I have adopted one village, and I'm trying to revive this art in concrete. And if I'm successful in this one project, I'll be taking over the next one. And so these animals, as I said, these are not just birds which they are painting. So it's the memory of these birds, the behavior of these birds which they are writing on the walls. They call it, we are writing. These societies, this is the generation my father worked with, they never went to school. It was a pre-literate society. Like, I mean, many villages in India, you will find women who had never been to school. And they said they're writing on the walls, like we write on paper, they write on walls. So this is a type of writing, likhna for them. And so these are, and the elephants which they come and they destroy their fields, but they still have them as a part of their life. Because I was recently told a funny story about the elephant behaviors. So the young elephants, they're very tiny when they're young, and they get drunk on mahua and other things, and they go funny for 2 days, and they are more dangerous than the parent elephants, because the little elephants, they go mad, and they're very fond of kicking things. So they are, the little ones are the one who break the houses in the villages. Like they go mad for 2 days, and then they sleep for 2 more days. So that was just one. And like the honey badger is like one with a very strong jaw. The small animal, I don't know if that will be in the slide. Parvati Devi paints a lot of honey badgers, and you get, these are the naughty elephants. And so we get all these little animals with different behaviors running in the forest, which these women encounter. And well, if you sit with them, hear their stories about these animals and birds, you will be lost in a world. Because I believe, like, we are made from this earth. We are a part of this mud. And all our problems and happiness lies in this mud. I mean, we are a part of this mud, and if anything can heal us, it's the mud. We hardly in the cities, we hardly get chance to feel the mud. I think we grew up playing, our favorite as children, we were like, after the rains, when there's muddy water, that was the place where we would do our fights with our friends, and we would be covered in chocolatey mud till we get soaked in. So I mean, that was the rainy season, right? And I think I miss it. And many of our, I mean, in the villages, I mean, they're still playing it. I see, and I remember my childhood. But I think we are losing that connection with the mud. Which I have made a lot of notes I wanted to talk about, but I think I would just continue because I had a short 5-minute film, 1 or 2 films. So this is Rudhan Devi, this is Malo Devi, this is Sita, this is Sugya Devi's murals, and this is the harvest art of Bhelwara and others. So this lower Ghatwal community, they have never painted on paper. So the harvest art, I mean, you can ask for as many information. We will share with KCC what this art is. There are a lot of books on this art, many films on this art. If someone is really interested to know and learn about it, I mean, I won't waste your time explaining the details about this art. Those are technical things. And I think you have to hear more from the horse's mouth, from the women who paint it, who do it. But now what is happening with the government is giving a lot of training. Even I am a part of that system now. I'm a victim of that. I have to give training because it's for the new generation. Unless you give an economic incentive as a part of their livelihood program, they may not continue painting. So we have to, I mean, that's the challenge, to make it a sustainable thing without hampering the art being a commodity rather than an art form. I mean, I won't use the word craft for our art. I mean, paintings, I would always use the word art. So this is the village I'm adopting, Bhelwara. A lot of houses have gone, but still I think I have 30% of houses remaining, and I will paint the concrete houses as well. And because I was talking to someone in this campus building today, like how tourism can be a very big economic resource for the villages. In generating, boosting their confidence and also generating a type of revenue for them, either by art or by rural tourism. I mean, that is what, I mean, the challenge I have been given. So this is the lovely art of Sarai. And we have, because I'm showing this because we promote this through our little museum. So that's how this topic which I had chosen from a museum to global platforms. So because how we took these women to international platforms. So these are Santhal houses in our region. And this is like a small group of women we started with. That's the photo is about 1999. And so all these ladies are now a little older. And so we have had 70 international exhibitions around the world. And this is in Rome, and like we have, I mean, the list is endless. I mean, this is in SOAS in London, this is some in Rome, this is in France. I mean, I don't want to impress you with photographs of exhibitions, but this is how we do. This is Putli painting in Zurich. This is again in London. When I was doing my studies, that's my professor, Dan Rycroft, for anthropology. This is the last mural we did in Canada. 4 large murals, 10 by 35 feet. All 4 were acquired by the National Gallery of Canada. And we had 17 indigenous artists. So these were more, contemporary indigenous artists. Not contemporary modern art, but this is contemporary indigenous art which the world recognizes. So, I mean, these are also artists. Just because they have not done their MFA or a BFA, that does not restrict them from being artists. And so this is our little group. And well, I'll just end with like a short film Shiza can put on. I think we are still okay with time. ये पुतली लोग से सो पुतली आप लोग आ जाइए ना अनीता, आई थिंक हाँ आप लोग पेंटिंग जो बना अनीता आप लेके पहले आ जाइए, फिर पुतली दीदी आ जाए। अच्छा माइक दे देंगे। सो आई थिंक अनीता हैज़ completed her little mural. And before I finish this, I would like to read a message which I have in my museum thing by Dr. Kalyan Chakravarti, written in 10th February 2005. He wrote, great and systematic effort done with passion and purpose. There is a need to join hands with Sri Imam in arresting the decay and decadence that are awaiting the habitat. After all, the objects in context and the life embellished come first. The museum can only be an extension of a living landscape, not a mirror of its extinction. So, I think we have stuck to that idea. We have tried not to museumize this art. I wish, and I'm trying my best to keep this art alive in the villages in its natural habitat and with the natural with the community. So I hope when Kalyan sir comes, visits again, we'll be able to show the living villages with the art done every year. So just a documentary, and then maybe we'll see the first documentary. By the time we'll wait for Putli to finish that, and then we can continue the conversation with them. Okay? Well, we'll start the first documentary, and then.
This is very ordinary mud. You can make with water, and you don't have to take too long to make this mix this color. Only half an hour before you put a little bit of water, and we mixed like this with a hand until it's little bit slippery. Then we know that this mud color is ready. In my village also there is black color, and in Hazaribagh here, in Hazaribagh, I have seen but not so black, and many people, and I also sometimes use for washing the hair.
So black mud
and that
is
little
local
light
mud from
and
the fields.
we call Nagri Matti.
Nagri matti is little grayish, but this is the Kali matti.
We celebrate Sohrai. In Sohrai, we decorate our house in a special wedding, and older people they died. That time also we decorate, but when older people die, that time we don't make any design on the wall, plain color only. Like totem I made black line by line, that we do. no design.
So this is
Any
Philomena
design.
from Urao tribe. So that she was painting her totem, which is the family tree. And this is Parvati Devi from Bhelwara village. So this is the village I have adopted. So a lot of houses have now been made concrete. This is 2004. She's painting the Pashupati, is the lord of the animals. And this is the cover, which is the first black background is prepared, and then white mud is put. And before the white dries, like Anita was painting, before the mud dries, you have to scrape off the design. अनीता मदद कर दीजिएगा आप ना पुतली दी को मदद कर दीजिएगा कलर की चमनी गा रही है. That's Chamni singing. Putli's cousin. She passed away in 2006, just after the documentary. And this is Sugya Devi of the Potter clan.
सोच रहे हैं कि
Anita's
हम
aunt.
अपना मन में सोचे थे कि ये फूल पत्ती हम बना रहे हैं, तुरंते हैं से हम लोग अपना सोच के काम करते हैं, तुरंते हैं से रात का नहीं सोचते हैं. इसे तो हम लोग अपने मन में सोच के बनाते हैं, सीखे हैं. हमको मम्मी थी ना पहले, तो हाथ से बनाते थे, ऐसा हाथ से बनाते थे कि कंघी के जरूरत उसको पास नहीं थे. मैंने गाछ पर ऐसे बैठने के लिए बना दिए हैं. अपना शौक है ये कि हम ऐसे बनाएंगे, नहीं समझ में आए. जैसे कि आप पढ़े लिखे हैं तो जो चीज़ देखते हैं वो तुरंत से आप समझ जाते हैं ना. आप जान रहे हैं कि हम इतना पढ़ लिए, हम नहीं पढ़े हैं तो हम तो नहीं ना जानते हैं कि इसमें क्या चीज़ है नहीं है, वो तो हमको समझदारी नहीं है. और ये चीज़ जो हम बना लिए हैं, ये चीज़ में हमको हाथ में है तो हम समझते हैं कि हाँ ये चीज़ हम जान रहे हैं. और हमारा अपना हाथ में रहेगा तो हम तो कोई नहीं ले लेगा कि ये चीज़ ऐसे हाथ से कोई जो जान रहे हैं वो चीज़ कोई लूट के नहीं ले सकता है. आप पढ़ लिए हैं तो आपको दिमाग से कोई ले सकता है. तो कि अपने यहाँ घर में अपना दिमाग लगा के सीखें, क्या होगा कैसे समझेगा. हम लोग का तो मास्टर नहीं लगा है, हम लोग तो अपने दिमाग लगा के बनाते हैं.
So this was just the first. It was a very long documentary. So this was the first part, and you want to see the second part, or we'll. So the second part. So because then the artists, then we go into the artists, what they have to say, and they keep on, and the art project and how we started. So I think I don't know what comes in the second part. So in the same, I'm watching the documentary after a couple of months now. So yeah, if we play that. Yeah, play. Maybe play the third part. In this part there was an elephant. The film is called One-Eared Elephant. So the artist explained why she was painting 1 ear of the elephant, because she got offended when the director asked why you have made 1 ear, and she thought that the director is trying to make fun of her. So she got very emotional, and she explains why she's painted 1 ear, because if the elephant is looking, when you look from an elephant from a side, you can only see 1 ear. And she defends herself by saying that the other, if you have to see the other side, it will have to be painted on the other side of the wall, which is not possible. So she has painted that one. So this is Rudhan Devi. She now paints with the left hand. Her right arm was amputated.
ये कान मतलब दीवार में ऐसे ही बनता है। अगर मट्टी उटी के अगर जब बनाए दबाने मट्टी के तो वो का मटिया में दुयो कर कान जाता है, तो दीवार में एक एगो कान रहता है। ये कमरा में एक एगो कान रहता है। और वो मट्टी के में से इसे कौन बनाता है ना, इतरी ने तो दुयो का कान रहता है, दुयो का। तब यहाँ इधर में तो दियो तरफ से बीच में हाथी रहेगा, इतरी से तरी में दियो कर आँख मैंने बन जाए। तो वो क्या ये क्या कर रहा था तो दो आँख हम कर दे लिए, एक एगो आँख बनते मैं कि दो आँख बना दे लिए। तो दीवार के तो उधर कैसे बनेगा आँख हैं, दीवार के तरह उधर नहीं बनेगा। वही के लिए मैंने एक के बटे आँखिया दोनों के कर दे।
So it's a very simple, naive form of art without, being, they paint it for themselves. They don't paint it for being judged. And imagine this painted 10 year after year we have documented for the last 30 years. So the amount of forms which have come up, it's mind-boggling. And the connections and meanings.
Bulu Imam was born here in 1942. The story of his life is fascinating in itself. As a child, he used to accompany his father, a famous professional hunter, till the 60s, when hunting was banned by the Indian government. Bulu grew up with all the luxuries of the elite, constantly on the move with well-organized expeditions. Today, he has given it all up for a life that is closer to that of the tribals. In the last years, he has become a passionate archaeologist. No doubt that both of his tribal wives,
so I've been his personal assistant for 20
have
years.
had a major influence on his vision of the region as a World Heritage Site.
Actually, I have known this art perhaps all my life because I've seen it in the villages, and I've spent a lot of my life in the villages, jungles. We used to come into these forests regularly.
So this is the Jorakat, going to the Jorakat village. It's on the hill.
And it was in 1991, after I found the ISCO rock art. All around we have got rock art sites which go back to 10 and 15,000 years. So when I discovered one after the other different rock art sites, then I started observing the diggings in the fields and started collecting chalcolithic objects. So that sort of research became internationally interesting, and a lot of scholars started coming. First, archaeologists came to me. Anthropologists come very carefully because they are an academic discipline and I am totally non-academic. And I have been able to show through our work that these people are painting in a form of art which is linked to the rock art. So after that I began investigating. The art then came into focus in my mind. The strength which I get from the art, the feeling I get, is Paleolithic. It's power. And that power to me, I suppose what Picasso saw when he faced the Benin masks, it was a gut reaction of tremendous power.
This is when we started the art project, 1994. This is 2004. We still continue.
आप यहाँ आ जाइए तो फिल्म में आ जाएंगे. ओ दो सांप का बनाया ना.
This is my brother Jason.
फुलासो आप कैसे बनाए? मोर का बनाया? हाँ कितना सुंदर. इसका हिस्सा है ना. What great art. Great paintings.
ये वाला जैसे बनलिए पहले मछली दे दिलिए, मछली बना के तकर बाद लिए पान पत्ता दे दिलिए, अगर बाद फूल दे दिलिए या फुलवा से नुका नुका मछलियाँ रहते हैं फुलवा भीतरी तब पकड़ल जैसे तो ना पकड़े पा रही, इसीलिए चारों पट्टी से फूल दे दिले ये छिप के रहते मछली.
She's explaining how she's protecting the fish from the flowers in the garden, lotus garden. This is the harvest start also, right? Yeah. Thank you. So without taking too much time, I think I'll introduce Putli. Putli Didi khada ho jaye. She was not very well. So हाँ नहीं पर यहाँ से भी you can see Putli. So she has traveled around the world about 4 continents with us, like including Europe में many countries like Switzerland और कहाँ Australia,
Canada, Australia, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Canada,
and many places in India. And she has painted large mural. And अब अपने बता दीजिए कहाँ से सीखे, कुछ बोलना है दीदी लोग से, कुछ भी बोलना है, पूछना है.
मेरा मामी बनाती थी जो बांस वाला खमटी रहता था उसका चीर के नानी नानी चीर के दीवार ने कॉम कटिंग करती थी कोहबर, फिर हाथ से करती थी बसर मरला गगरा. तो हम तो जाते थे गाय चराने जाते थे तो जितना जंगल के जानवर देखते थे तो जो डट्टी लेके ज़मीन में खूब बनाते थे बनते बनते दीवार ने बनाने लगे तो मेरा मम्मी डाटा से दौड़ाती थी मारने के लिए. हम बोले कि नहीं मम्मी, तो छुप जाते थे जंगल में जाके. उसके बाद बोले कि अच्छा हमरा धीरे धीरे सीखने दीजिए. तो ये संथाली सब शिकार करता था पहले, तो उन लोग के देखे तो उसका भी डटे से सीखने लगे ज़मीन में. तो हम सोचे कि दीवार नया बनाएंगे. तो उसका बाद बनते बनते हो गया 2-3 साल, सब अच्छा से बनाने लगे. तो बुलू इमाम, जस्टिम इमाम थी, जैसन इमाम गया तो बोला कि ये पेंटिंग कौन बनाया है. तो हम थी मेरा भाई बोल दिया कि ना मेरा बहन. कहाँ पर है घर ने. उसका बाद देखे तो हम डर गए कि ये लोग तो हमरा पकड़ के ले जाएगा. जो रोना शुरू कर दिए. तो मेरा भाभी थी बोली कि नहीं फोटो वोटो खींचने खोज रहा है. तो फिर फोटो वोटो लिया, बुलू इमाम, जस्टिम इमाम, जसन इमाम. उसका बाद बोला कि हम पेपर देंगी. तो हम बोले पेपर नहीं हम सकेंगे बनाने. तो वैसे पेपर ने बनते बनते तब बुलू इमाम बोला कि नहीं चलो से संस्कृति घर बना देंगे, वहीं दीवार ने छपना. उसका बाद पेपर ने बनाने लगे. पेपर से बनाते बनाते फिर कैनवस ने बनाने लगे. अभी पेपर ने बना रहे हैं, कैनवस ने बना रहे हैं. तब बुलू इमाम बोला कि ना ये सोहराय पेंटिंग अब फॉरेन पहुंचाएंगी. तो वह फॉरेन पहुंचाया ये पेंटिंग. ये पेंटिंग गायब ना होना चाहिए, ये पेंटिंग के जिंदा रखेंगी.
गांव में बच्चे लोग अभी सिखा रहे हैं आप?
बच्चे लोग तो अभी सब स्कूल में है, सब स्कूल में है. कोई सीखने नहीं मांगता है, बोलता है कि सब पढ़ाई लिखा छोड़ के तो यही पेंटिंग बनाएंगे, सोहरा पेंटिंग ऐसे बोलता है. थैंक यू. जोहार.
Thank you, Putli Di. And we have Jasoda's daughter, Anita. Jasoda's grandmother used to paint, so she's the third generation, and abhi inki beti Priyanka is also painting. So Anita, I'll pass the mic.
जोहार, मेरा नाम है अनीता देवी और ये हम मम्मी के साथ में मम्मी दीवार पे बनाती थी कोहबर कटिंग और उसे मम्मी के साथ में हम धीरे धीरे कोहबर करते करते ये कला को हम मम्मी के साथ में हम लोग भैया लोग जाते थे, जस्टिंग भैया और गुस्तू भैया लोग हम लोग का घर जा कर के दीवार पे मम्मी बनाती थी। तो धीरे धीरे ये भैया लोग बढ़ाए हम लोग का ये डिजाइन मम्मी बनाती थी तो पेपर में फिर दिए, फिर लेदर में बनाने के लिए दिए। तो मम्मी साथ हम धीरे धीरे छोटे थे 12 साल के उस समय मम्मी साथ में हम धीरे धीरे मम्मी के साथ में धीरे धीरे हम भी सीखना चालू किए और मम्मी कहीं कहीं जाती थी तो हम भी जाते थे धीरे धीरे। तो मम्मी के साथ में ये कोहबर कला और सोहराय पेंटिंग हम सीखे हैं। अभी तो हम सीख करके मम्मी तो नहीं है, 2021 में मेरा मम्मी डेथ कर गई। तो ये कला हम ले करके बाहर हर जगह ही जा रहे हैं, दुमका हर जगह बच्चों को सिखाने के लिए, ये व्हाट्सअप करने के लिए और हर जगह हम सिखा रहे हैं ये कला।
Thank you all for so patiently watching them paint, and I hope you have liked the little documentary. There's a full documentary we can share through KCC, or maybe we can have a separate screening for the full film. It's a 90-minute film, and it gives you an insight into our world. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. एक बार दिखा देते हैं। हाँ ठीक है ना, बाद में आके देख सकते हैं। हाँ।
To what extent are the men folk of the village involved in this making or supportive, or what is their role?
Yes. So as I said, like we have to understand the village lifestyle. The men would be working in the fields, and or if it is a potter community, the men would be making the pots. The women being it's a matriarchal society still in the village. The women are the devis of the house, so they are in control of the house. So they decorate the house, they keep the house clean. So it is their job from kitchen to from hearth to their heart. Is like everything is women's world, and so the men are basically. If you are anyone from the tribe, you have been associated with the tribal ways of life. I mean, the men are always doing their things. They are supposed to bring finance or food in the house, and the women are taking care of the house. And this art being a part of the ritual, the women paint the art. The men have nothing to do with that. But now today, as we are seeing this new generation. Excuse me, the men, I mean the boys have taken a important, because when it comes to promoting this art, we need men's involvement. And so the young boys in the villages, they have started, but they have also started painting, which is, I'm a little skeptical as far as they stick to their design. And because in the market you will see, all over India you will see in art fairs, whether it's Delhi or Bangalore, you will see a lot of Sohrai paintings being sold in melas, which is not exactly authentic Sohrai made now. As I said, we have thousands of artists, male, female, you can't say, because most of them are not signed. And that's one of a serious concern I have, and I've been discussing with Ushmita ji about the provenance, because it's not about, see, we are very happy that this art is creating a livelihood for a community where men and women both are involved. Today, I think they are both involved in each family, like even Rudhan is not here, her whole family is involved. Because they have to earn a living, and agriculture and pottery, I mean the pots don't sell now. The Prajapati community, the Kumhar community, they can no longer depend on earning their living through making pots. So I think these communities like Anita's daughter and son also paints. So I've told that they can be the indigenous, contemporary indigenous artists. They have a place, but as far as they know what they're doing, not copying each other, because Putli is one of the artists who has been copied very widely by all new artists coming up. So, and Putli, Parvati, they have all been copied by a lot of men, women, girls and boys. But like in a village lifestyle, I think the art is still the women's world, and the men help them from the economic point as far as they get the
जी और अनीता जी आप यहाँ पे आए हमारे लिए बहुत ही सौभाग्य की बात है हाँ आई थिंक आई स्पीक फॉर एवरीवन दैट वी विल डेफिनेटली बी स्क्रीनिंग द होल डॉक्यूमेंट्री Paula Di and I have made plans to visit.
Sure.
We have been planning, but in addition to that, I do see, you know, some of the points that we were discussing earlier. After we heard Bijoy's keynote, we were
Yes.
discussing that, you know, even in the film, at some point, you know, one of the ladies does say, nobody can speak what our hands have learned.
Yes.
And I was just connecting.
Can't steal from what
yes.
the hand has learned.
So
Yes.
I was just connecting those dots. I think this is magnificent that they could come and that you could show this.
Yes, and as I said, you have to hear from the horse's mouth. These women have so many stories to tell. I mean, the art is just the tangible heritage. The intangible part is in their mind and heart. When they're painting, they're telling about the stories of two brothers going for hunting. So there is so many stories and emotions which are intangible, attached to their mind, and it's a feeling which is being expressed. So it's whenever you see an elephant, I mean that is either a naughty elephant or a threat who destroyed their house. So it's so many things when they paint that animal or a bird. There's so much going on in the mind, and it's through the hand they are, as sir was saying. That is the only thing they have. I mean, if you visit our villages, you will see they have almost nothing. They'll survive on nothing. If you go to Putli's house, she lives, we have adopted her for the last 30 years. She has a house in Sanskriti Museum campus, but she still has a house in village, and in the middle of the forest. Apart from food grains and a few spade and an axe, you will find nothing. So they are attached to nothing. They almost have nothing. Apart from now they have maybe a phone, but the only thing they'll find is food grains and animal and chickens and like maybe a goat. So yeah, that's their world.
I have another question, if I may. So over the centuries, you know, this seems to have moved from you know, the support seemed to have changed from rock to painting on mud walls to paper.
Textile now, you'll see a lot
textile, and now you're...
A lot of design students, into a lot of mediums, NIT, IFT, NIFT, IIT students come and they're like into design product, they're designing products. So that's design, that's...
Yeah. And you're also talking about now doing it on concrete walls.
Yes, we have done in some places. So to keep the art alive, those have no commercial value in the walls.
Yeah, so I understand that a lot of this is happening per force with, you know, changing times. But my question is that there's one disconnect that occurs in the sense that I think these are sort of seasonal or ritualistic art forms. Yes. You know, I mean, from the time they were painted in the caves, when they were clearly ritualistic, to
yes.
You know, this which was seasonal, but now as it's transitioned to other supports like paper and so on, which are movable.
Yes.
So what are, I mean, it's become disconnected from, you know, the original reasons for painting
yes.
it.
I'm getting
so how has that led to stylistic changes or?
It has.
You know, yeah.
So when you we all cook food in the house. So the taste is different. जो घर का food का taste होता है या अचार होता है, it's different. So the moment you start making it commercially, it changes. The taste changes. The taste of art. Because the reason, the drive behind painting, if it was a ritual for a marriage, imagine a mother painting for her daughter's marriage. She knows that she is going to not lose her daughter is going away. And so the emotion which goes in painting that particular Kohver mural where the couple would spend the first night. I mean, Kohver is a marriage room where the couple spends the first night. So that emotion, when it's done on paper, but when we started the art project and it was never, we used to give paper in the village and go after 3 months and collect it. So those, the first set of paintings which we have been discussing with Ushmita, so that have a different flavor. So any art critic or art lovers who can see, I mean, it's like when you see, when I see your face, I can read your face. I mean, I can understand your feelings, if you're happy or you're angry. And that is with art. You can read the art if you have read enough. So when an art is made with love and care and emotion and passion, you can see the difference, the flow of the brush and everything. You can see it. When an art is done, especially like for a commercial thing, you can see that it was jaldi banaya gaya. So from 1995 to 2004, we were just giving, it was not a big art project. We started with 40 women with a funding from the Australian High Commission, and the idea was to sustain the art project by exhibiting, selling the art. And so it was a one-time grant, and we are still, with one-time grant, we are still doing it. The project is still running. So the idea was maybe one artist will make 2 paintings in a month. And that was the rate. So in the 10 years, we created about 2,000 artworks, out of which we didn't sell much. I mean, in the last, we have had 70 international exhibitions, but maybe 5 paintings in an exhibition if we are lucky. So we have not sold many art. Now, after 2015 and 2019, after the GI tag, a lot of NGOs and government have taken over. I mean, so now we have no control over our artists. They are freelance. We have 4,000 women, but they are all independent, earning their livelihood. So whether it has hampered the quality of the art, I think you will be able to judge it yourself. You will come across Kohver and Sorai, whichever part of India you are, I think you will see it in different art fairs. And if the art has the original in the walls which it was done, you have seen it, you will be seeing it in films, you have photographs all over the internet. People take photographs, images from the internet, and they're copying it. So it's out of our 10, 15 artists, so that same style has become like a prototype for copies, and they're making it. And I don't find fault unless it is painted by the community people. But now जो poster maker जो होता था, पहले sign board paint करते थे and जो number plate paint करते थे, they are all doing Kohver and Sorai, which is okay as far as, because they have, as a state, people have taken it as their art, and they take pride in saying that they have an art. When Bihar and Jharkhand got separated, Madhubani went into Bihar, Jharkhand had no art, and 1991 we were shouting about, telling people, making films about this art. No one had heard about this art. It's only in the last couple of years the art is getting more limelight with social media and other things. And but we still do things in a very old-fashioned way, very slow. I mean, one film in 2 years, one exhibition in 1 year, things like that. And but yeah, we have to have more.
Just one more question, yeah.
Sorry, maybe my answers are very long.
Hello, sir. I'm Ahuna, design educator. My question goes to both of you, Ritu ma'am and you, both here. So, when we teach our students history of art and prehistoric art, apart from Bhimbetka, there is no mention of Manipur. There is absolutely no mention of Jharkhand,
Yes, Eastern
Hazaribagh.
India.
And even we have these maps which we teach, where all, northern, southern Spain and northern France, Altamira and all that.
Yes.
But it's absolutely compact and so many slides. Absolutely nothing about what treasure we have inside. So, especially organized design schools who are of repute, like NID and other institutes like NIFT, can we now, it's a high time to reshuffle and, it's on us also, as educator, it's all on our shoulder also, but I think in the syllabus scale,
In the syllabus, it should be added.
It's a high time to look
We
at.
were, the
us.
only time we had a
Right.
professional documentation was through IGNCA in 2005. And I think that was for the Japan list, and I think it went, in few exhibitions, and that was the end of the story. Unless it goes into the curriculum and people are, this is a shared heritage. It's it's our heritage, like as India as a whole. So unless we know about, as I was telling, like we have our evidences of the people, like it's not just the African out of Africa theory we are talking about, or not just the Lascaux caves in France, which have like such magnificent, or the Australian Aboriginal art connected to their rock art. It's a matter of subject of research, and I can guarantee if a proper excavation is done, although I'm very skeptical about ASI and their way of doing things, but the proper study is done, and if more researchers are involved, I think we can know a lot about, unless we don't want to know about our answer, who were these people, because we are born with a silver spoon. We have everything in our fingertips. We take it for granted. So I think the students are here, their heritage. I think they should raise the voice. We have showed it to you. I think the students will take it.
It's there in the syllabus, but just in the study of craft.
No, so now they are the future of the country.
It's
So
marked as craft.
I think they have to take it in their hand as design students, or whether administrators, or the ball is in your court, guys.
Thank you very much. A big round of applause, please. Thank you. It's a great note to end on, I think.
Yeah, we will be ending it. Thank you so much, Mr. Imam and the artisans.